Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Sarah Vantine here with Ted Ings. Today we are at Uber headquarters in New York City at the World Trade Center, and we have a very special guest with us today, Ted.
Sarah, we are in for a great treat. We have Mickey Quinn, the president of Vanguard Dealer Services, with us. Mickey, welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Thank you, Ted. Thank you, sir.
Mickey, what a great venue, by the way.
Yeah, beautiful.
In New York, right? In our home.
I love this city. Just getting here and parking's not so easy, but once you're here, it's fantastic. That's for sure.
Well, Mickey, to kick things off, we're talking about F&I and different pieces that are best practices for dealerships. What are some of the ways that F&I managers can build trust and transparency with customers during the F&I process?
Well, to frame it a little bit, I've been in the space for 35 years. I know it doesn't look like it, but I have. And over the years, you know, there are three things that I have learned that an F&I manager has to be, and that's they have to be authentic, sincere, and they have to have empathy. And if they can control those three things, understanding that the consumer in front of them has a need while they sit there, they can be very successful at what they do. And we're finding more and more. Last year, our combined company sold north of 2 million policies to consumers throughout the United States, many of those mechanical repair breakdowns. We're seeing that the consumer actually truly wants to buy these products. They don't have to be sold. If we explain them completely and let the consumer understand what the benefits of them they are, you're going to sell at a very, very high penetration number with sincerity, authenticity, meaning know what you're selling. Just don't call it a service contract. Be able to explain it and what the benefits of it are, who it comes from, and what happens when something happens or there's a breakdown. In our world, we simply believe very simply that our mothers, our wives, our daughters, our sons, our nephews and nieces buy these products. When their car breaks down and they turn that 1-800 number and they call it, we want to make sure that there's someone at the end of the phone to answer the phone call. So if a business manager is authentic, sincere, and has empathy for the customer, they'll be very, very successful.
You know, some people have asked, what does F&I have to do with fixed operations and the service process? But I think you did a very good job just now of capturing that and how they're all intertwined.
Well, I'm biased, but I truly believe that in the F&I department is where the customer retention really begins. For 25 years, I've been working in true car dealerships on the wholesale side. And what I truly believe, in my opinion, the real war is for control of the customer between the OEM and the individual franchise owner. These men and women go out and spend $10, $20, $50 million on buildings only to put the name of the manufacturer on that building, who is ultimately trying to take control of that consumer. So for me, a car dealership must really look at the products and services that they're selling in the F&I department, or as I like to call it, the business office. Because if we can get those customers back into your service department, so often we hear about PVR. That doesn't concern me anymore because any good company can get a car dealer to get PVR. That's the steak on the menu. The idea is to get dollars per ownership cycle. And if you sell the right products and services in your F&I department, you're going to send those customers back to your service department. You're going to sell some parts, and ultimately you're going to sell that consumer another car. And we know statistically, if you can sell that consumer one more car, they're probably going to refer somewhere between 5 and 7 people back to your dealership to buy a car. So it's, for me, it's right in that business office where it all begins, the customer retention. I don't like to say ownership, but the loyalty from the consumer begins in the F&I office.
Mickey, vehicles are getting more expensive to maintain. They have more technology on them today in the newer vehicles that are coming out on the road. But in the conversation dealerships are having around F&I offerings, how do they differentiate themselves from the competitors?
Well, there's many ways that you can do it. First of all, educate the business manager. So often, I did it for many years. I sold Hyundais in 1990, became a business manager. And I seen so many people trying to sell a consumer a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty for X amount of dollars, when the trade cycle from that consumer was 36 months or 48 months, or whatever it was. So for me, to differentiate yourself, educate your business managers, empower them. Teach them that empathy and sincerity and authenticity really helps the whole dealership. And ultimately, if you're a business manager, if that consumer comes back to you in 3 years, 4 years, or sends someone to you, the likelihood of you making a much better commission is much stronger. So again, it's education in the employee. We see it so often today. Our company has 424 salespeople throughout the nation. That was this morning anyway. I don't know what it'll be at the end of today. It might be more, it might be less. But the number one thing that car dealers are asking us for today, it used to be a lot of fill-in or PVR, but today they're asking for training and education on those business managers. And when I did F&I in 1990 and 1991, you truly were someone that had to take the consumer and probably put them back into another car, right? The sales manager was selling the car, consumer shows up in your office, you run the old TRW report, and that consumer doesn't qualify for the car. You were taking that customer back outside, putting them in the car and reselling them. That's not happening today. It is truly, and I don't want to diminish the job because it's very important, but it's truly a paint by numbers position. And if you follow the process and you follow what's out there today, ultimately you'll be very successful at what you're doing.
And finally, Mickey, I've heard it's all about the repeat and referral business. How can F&I departments work better and more with service and parts to bring it all together as one?
I've heard it many times today where there are many customers in the service department. I'll use conservative numbers. 50% of the consumers that buy a car today do not buy a service contract at the time of sale. So good service departments, sadly across the nation, not too many do a very good job. We're trying to sell service contracts to consumers coming back in. My advice, and I'm biased again because one of our companies is a post-sale service contract, where we only call for we do not make phone calls to the consumer. It recalls a call to action. We send direct mail. But if you can go after those 50%, and I happen to think it's a lot more than 50%, and secure them on a service contract, that is the number one tether to a consumer back to the car dealership that's been since Henry Ford started rolling the T model off the product line. That's service contract. If we can get the consumer to buy a service contract, first of all, it's got to be well insured, and not with $500 deductibles and not just powertrain coverage, but really decent coverage. If you can do that and market to those consumers, you're going to bring them back into your service departments.
And finally, Mickey, Vanguard Dealer Services getting bigger, stronger. I see it more and more. The number of reps keeps going up every time I meet you.
So we are a tremendous American success story. We are under the umbrella of Spectrum Automotive Holdings. We started as Vanguard Dealer Services in 2000. In 2000, 3 entrepreneurs in Jersey. 2015, we made our first transaction with private equity, and today we have 32 companies under the umbrella, and this morning we had 1,017 employees. And everything that we do, all our revenue is generated through car dealerships.
Well, Mickey, on behalf of the Fixed Ops Roundtable, thank you.
Thank you.
For all you do for not just fixed operations, but our entire industry.
I appreciate it very
For your
much.
great support here, the Fixed Ops.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Very nice. Thank you.
I'm Ted Ings. I'm here with Mickey Quinn and Sarah Van Tyne. We are at the World Trade Center at Uber's headquarters in New York City, and we will be right back.
Thank you.